สวัสดีค่ะ Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to extend our warm welcome to all of you to the official opening ceremony of the 29th International Conference on Computer in Education 2021. And once again, officially welcome all of you from Thailand. I am Atima Kaosaat. It's my extreme honor to be here today as your master of ceremony in this remarkable event. For your information, there are many activities for today's events. We will begin with the opening remarks, the announcement of the ICCE 2021 awards, and after that, you will enjoy the live performance from Thailand, which is an interesting activity that you shouldn't miss. Before we start our opening ceremony, ladies and gentlemen, please turn on your camera in order to join this event together. And may I have a minute for taking a group photo? Everyone, big smile, please. 3, 2, 1. One more time, please. Big smile. 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you very much. And this year is very special as we have the local organization chair from Thailand organizing this event with Asia Pacific Society for Computers in Education. Now, please join me in welcoming our local organization chair. First, may I invite Dr. Chai Wutviwatchai, the Director of National Electronics and Computer Technology Center, to deliver his welcoming speech. Please welcome.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Okay. Dear Professor Tanya Mitrovic, President of APSCE, Professor Maria Mercedes Rodrigo, and Sida Iyer, International Program Chair of ICCE 2021, distinguished guests, and all ICCE participants. I'm very pleased to welcome you to ICCE 2021 again. I say again because it reminds me the previous 10 years, ICCE 2011, if you can remember, at Chiang Mai, Thailand. We had a chance to welcome you and had a wonderful conference. It is unfortunate that we cannot meet each other face to face this time, because of the pandemic crisis. However, it is a good opportunity to have a chance anyway to communicate via online platform. This is very convenient right now. NECTEC started the research on education technology for many years. Since 2018, we shaped the focus area and include innovative education platform as one of the most important research areas in NECTEC. There are 3 main research which we are focusing on. First, content management system research area. We developed a Thai massive open online courses, in short we call Thai MOOC, which enables Thai students to learn online and for free with more than 400 courses from more than 40 academic institutes. We also participate and develop a management platform to raise the level of Thai academic journal called Thaijo. It helps to accelerate the process for Thai journal to be indexed in the international level, such as Scopus. Second, computational thinking program. It is very important for the 21st century skill. We developed what we call Kit Bright project, which allows more than 2,000 schools to learn how to programming together with a small but smart electronics board called Kit Bright. This project is extended to KitWrite AI, which integrates an AI chip for students to get used to AI and data science environment. We hope that KitWrite community will enable computational thinking for Thai students. And last, cultural informatics platform. Since Thailand is one of the rich countries for cultural and biodiversity, we developed an e-culture management platform, which is not only for cultural preservation, but also for cultural tourism and economy. Experienced people in local area can contact and tell a lot of stories, and we can gain the wisdom through the collection in this digital platform. And of course, this platform is open publicly. I think the education plays an important role in today's economic development. And I know that this conference has a variety of research topics to be presented, including AI, learning analytics, mobile development, games and languages, applications. All components are very important assets to fulfill the next generation of education. I hope this virtual conference be successful and all guests will have a fruitful discussion, enjoy Thai culture from Thai people joining this conference. Please stay safe and I hope you can visit Thailand in the near future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And next, please welcome Associate Professor Dr. Sumali Chaicharan, the Dean of the Faculty of Education, Khon Kaen University, to deliver a welcoming remarks. Please welcome.
Good morning. The Asia Pacific Society for Computers in Education, ICCE organizers, speakers, and all participants. It is indeed an honor for the Faculty of Education, Khon Kaen University, to be a partner in hosting the 29th International Conference on Computers in Education, ICCE, held on November 24 to 26, 2021 by Thailand. This is a very significant gathering for educational researchers, educators, as well as developers in the various disciplines of education. At the Faculty of Education, we particularly value collaborative research with international partners. We seek to understand better the context and to identify the ways of improving social outcomes for all. We see international partnerships as important opportunities for enhancing the impact of our research. On behalf of the Faculty of Education, Khon Kaen University, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the Asia Pacific Society for Computer in Education and ICCE organizers for extending to us this partnership opportunity. I also congratulate the organizers, speakers, persons, facilitators, presenters, and participants of this conference. We are proud to be co-hosts in this 29th International Conference on Computer in Education. Finally, we would like to tell you that on November 26, 2021, in the closing ceremony, we will present Khon Kaen folk dance to explain life and culture of Northeastern region. Don't miss this special event from us and hope you enjoy with this live performance. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And last but not least, please join me in welcoming our last local organization chair, Associate Professor Dr. ชยาพร วัฒนสิริ the President of แม่ฟ้าหลวง University.
Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to welcome you to the 29th International Conference on Computers in Education. This annual conference is organized by the Asia Pacific Society for Computers in Education, or APSI, cooperating with Thailand local organizers, National Electronics and Computer Technology Center, Khon Kaen University, and Mae Fah Luang University. Its board objective is to promote the conduct and communication of scientific research related to all aspects of the use of computers in education, especially within the Asia Pacific. On behalf of the President of Mae Fah Luang University, I would take this opportunity to thank the Asia Pacific Society for Computers in Education, APSI, for our university being the local host and running 2 workshops this year. This brings us the opportunity to build our organizational communication and computer skills, which will be beneficial to our team in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that by participating in this conference, we are in the right place and the right time. Together, let us accelerate the exchange of ideas and scaling up of good practices. I am confident that you will find new ideas, fresh energy, and innovative partnerships to sustain our efforts in support of computer in education. And we must turn COVID-19 into a unique opportunity for our educators to recalibrate their development goals and design a modern learning environment that can fast-track a sustainable development in the next decade of computer in education. I wish you all a very successful virtual conference. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And next, I am honored to invite Professor Antonija Mitrovic, FJ President and ICCE 2021 Conference Chair, to deliver an officiating speech. Please welcome. Tanja, please welcome. Okay.
It's my great pleasure to be able to welcome you all to the 29th Conference on Computer Communication, but also remember that this is our second virtual conference. Of course, we were all hoping to have a face-to-face conference this year and to enjoy visiting Thailand and looking at all the different kinds of things that can be seen there, but unfortunately we had to go again with the virtual conference. So
Tanja, sorry, could you speak louder, please?
yes,
We can't hear you well.
of course, that's fine.
Okay, yes, thank you.
So in a moment, you're going to hear a lot about the conference, about what happened from our program chair. But I would just like to say a few words about the society. Every year we have new people, new researchers joining the conference, and they might know they might not know about the history. So first of all, let me remind everyone about the three founding fathers of EPSI, Zachary Chen, Chiki Tui, and Riichiro Mizoguchi. They have done a lot for this society and for this conference, and they continue to contribute their great work. As you know, we have 11 special interest groups. For the first 7, they are the older ones. We have sub-conferences at ICC, but the newer 6 basically have workshops or other kinds of events at the conference. EPSI is run by an executive committee. This is a group of dedicated people who keep working on improving the society and the conference and other aspects of the society. The EC members participate in different subcommittees, and you can see the list here. We are going to hear very soon from Lungsheng Wang, who is the chair of the awards subcommittee. We also have a subcommittee for the conference. So basically, this subcommittee is chaired by Akihiro Kashihara from Japan, and they look at where the next conference is going to be held. So we'll hear from them later in the conference as well. We have the journal subcommittee. I hope you all know about the Society's journal, Research and Practice and Technology Enhanced Learning. This committee is chaired by Su Chung Kong from Hong Kong, who was the chief editor of the journal for many, many years. But now we also have co-editors. We also have the 6th subcommittee. So this is chaired by Wei Kin Chen from Norway. And we have other members as well. And they will look at different SIGs and try to improve how they work and how they contribute to society. Within this subcommittee, we also have a task force led by Lungsheng Wang, which started in 2020. So hopefully you all know about the EPSI webinar series. Every SIG organizes at least 1 webinar per year. So we have at least 11 webinars, plus we have a month for the conference. So please check the website of EPSI. There are some very good past webinars that you can watch. We also have the outreach and publicity subcommittee. So this is the subcommittee chaired by Margaret Chang, and their role is to popularize the work by researchers in EPSI and our conference as well. I would also like to point out that we have an associate EC member, Verifaintan Sharina Sayed Abdullah, who is the EPSI corporate designer, and she has done excellent work on producing flyers for the webinars and some other very useful service for the society. The next subcommittee is elections subcommittee chaired by Sulong Wang, and they are in charge of selecting presidents and other duties such as selecting EC members. Now the education program subcommittee, this is chaired by Hiraki Ogata from Japan, and their work is to educate especially younger researchers about the work that's done in our society. So the student wing is basically a list of people, typically very young researchers, who are learning about EPSI and also popularizing EPSI among their colleagues. Now, for a success of a conference, there are a lot of people to be thanked. We are going to hear very soon from our IPC chair and the co-chairs. You're going to hear later on from various subcommittees that I mentioned, but we also have to thank the subconference chairs and co-chairs and PC members. Our technical chair, Alex Topanduk from Vietnam, who is the technical wizard. He made ICC 2020 possible, and he's also providing his excellent service to this conference too. And of course, I would like to thank all the authors and all the participants. And with this, I'll stop sharing and thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. And next, May I invite Professor Maria Massagetti Rodigo, ICCE 2021 International Program Coordination Chair, to deliver an opening remark. Please welcome.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here in this virtual conference. It is my honor to, oh, sorry, hello. Sorry, I didn't realize I was still muted. Okay, once again, thank you everyone for being here at our virtual conference. I miss seeing all of you face to face, but all right, it is my pleasure to deliver today the report regarding our conference. With me as IPC Coordination Co-Chair is Sridhar Iyer from India. So thank you so much to Sridhar for his companionship and assistance over this last year. Okay. The conference is made possible by many different people. Many of the people in this room are responsible for making it possible. Of course, we started with Tanya, who is our conference chair. We have the IPC chair and co-chairs, our local organizers from Thailand. Thank you so much for all your hard work. Our proceedings chair and our consultants from last year. Then, as you know, and then, of course, our Tanya has already thanked Alex, but let me thank him again. He has worked extremely hard on technical support necessary for the conference, and we would be truly lost without Alex. So Alex, thank you very much. The conference is divided into 7 sub-conferences listed here on this page. And I'm not going to read the names of all the chairs, but I will show them. Without these sub-conference chairs, we would have no content. These are the chair and co-chairs for C1, for C2, for C3, for C4, C5, C6, and C7. And we are grateful to the chairs and co-chairs for organizing the program committees of each of these sub-conferences, for recruiting papers, for overseeing the review process, and for vetting the nominees for the outstanding papers. We also appreciate very much that we have representation from many different countries, many continents. What has always impressed me so much about ICCE is that we have actually made an effort to get a diverse group of scholars from all over the world, and I hope this is a tradition that we shall continue as we move forward. We have other events in the conference. Aside from the main conference, we have workshop and interactive events, and we have tutorials. These are the chairs and co-chairs. We also have the work in progress and the doctoral student consortium. Again, these are the chairs and co-chairs. We have the early career workshop. Chair and co-chairs are on the screen. We have panels and we have extended summaries. We have the merit scholarship, and then we also have an award for best poster, which is chaired by the posters chair. We shall learn more about the best poster actually after the poster event on Thursday. Now, what can we expect from the conference? We have 4 keynote speakers, 3 theme-based speakers, 24 parallel sessions. I will admit that it's a smaller conference in terms of number of papers than we have traditionally, and and we suspect that this is really because of the pandemic and because we are online. We have about 30 posters in all. We also have SIG events, SIG leaders meeting, and we have pre-conference events. So we have 12 workshops, 1 tutorial, 1 DSC, 1 ECW, and 1 student wing workshop. For the main conference events, I mentioned that we have 4 keynote speakers. We have the keynote speakers are again from different countries, from Thailand, Switzerland, United States, and Taiwan. And we are very honored and pleased that they agreed to be part of our event. We also have 3 theme-based speakers, 2 from Spain, 1 from Australia. And you can see again from the mix that we have a large representation from different countries. And again, this is an effort that ICCE has always made. In terms of our IPC and author statistics, you'll see from the chart that we have authors and PC members from all over the world. We have some countries from which we have PC members but no authors, and we have other countries where we have authors but no PC members. So for example, in Bangladesh, we have 1 author but we have no PC members, versus let's say Bolivia and Brazil, where we have PC members but no authors. We present these numbers because we want to get an appreciation of our community, where exactly our community is. And maybe we would like to also appreciate where we can recruit more, where there is opportunity to reach out and to recruit more either authors or PC members. We have quite a lot of representation, and we hope that when we finally do get to see each other again face to face, that we can welcome even more participation from these and other countries. Okay, the submission statistics, as you know, ICCE is quite strict about the review process, and we're very discerning about the quality of the papers that we welcome. Our acceptance rate is less than 30%. Our reviewers are quite strict, and the only subconference that accepted just a little bit more than 30% was C7. And that was because the 6 papers that they did accept were all of very good quality. And the panel, the chair and co-chairs decided that they could not downgrade any of these papers to short paper. They were all excellent. Okay. For the presenters, we have full papers are given 20 minutes presentation time and 5 minutes discussion time. Short papers and extended summaries have 10 minutes to present and 5 minutes discussion time. The posters and WIPP will be held on November 25, that is tomorrow, from 4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. on AirMeet. That's Bangkok time. I hope you've all had an opportunity to look at the program and to pick out the sessions that you would like to attend. So far, the first day and second day, the sessions were quite well attended, and I think what was even better was that there was a lot of very good discussion, lots of questions from the audience, which enlivened the sessions. The sessions are recorded and they will be made available for those who are unable to attend for a limited period of time. We have Best Reviewer Awards. I'm very pleased to announce the awardees for each of the sub-conferences. C1 has decided that they will not give a Best Reviewer Award this year. C2 has named 3 awardees, C3 has 1 awardee, C4 has 2 awardees, C5 has 1, C6 has 2, and C7 has 1. All of these Best Reviewer awardees will be receiving a certificate, and we issue a Best Reviewer award to encourage high quality reviews, and we thank these reviewers and all the other reviewers for all their hard work in ensuring that the quality of our conference remains quite high. We have also our best paper awards. We have 4 categories of awards: the best overall paper, best student paper, best technical design paper, and the best poster design paper. The judges for this year were organized by Sridhar Iyer. So for best overall paper, we have Juling, Bo, Jiang, Ramkumar. For best student paper, there's Sahana, Ulit, Kulthida, and for best technical design, there's Sulan, Gatam, and JK. And these are the nominees. I will not announce the winners. I do not know who the winners are. These are the nominees for best overall paper. These are the nominees for best student paper, and you'll see that there's a little bit of overlap. And then finally, these are the nominees for best technical design paper. And with that, I am pleased to end my report. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much. And next, may I give the floor to Professor Loong Cheng Wang to present the Distinguished Researcher Awards and the Early Career Research Award. Please welcome.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Okay, here comes our Distinguished Researcher Awards, and this Early Career Research Award 2021. I'm Loong Cheng Wang. I'm the award subcommittee chair who is in charge of the selection of the award winners. So for the FC, Distinguished Researcher Award, or in short DRA, recognizes an active FC member who has shown distinguished academic accomplishments and contribution in the field of computers and education. The award was launched in 2009 for provision every 2 years, but starting from 2014, the award is provided every year. At most, one Distinguished Researcher Award will be presented each year, and the winners were selected by our executive committee. So for this year, the DRA goes to Dr. Maria Mercedes Didif T. Rodrigo. Right.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Shang, and thank you very much, Apsi.
Okay, so I need to give you give an introduction from you first before. Yeah. Okay, Dr. Rodrigo is a professor at Antonio de Manila University, the head of Ateneo Laboratory for Learning Sciences (ALLS), and her research interests include artificial intelligence in education, technology in education, learning analytics, and effective computing. Under her leadership, ALLS, which is a lab, has developed a number of mobile and PC-based games for learning and augmented reality applications for informal learning in museums. The team has also conducted eye-tracking studies on device programmer reading, tracing, and debugging skills. One of her most influential works is her contribution to the development of the Baker-Rodrigo Ocumbal, okay, I hope I pronounced correctly, monitoring protocol, or in short, BROMP, a quantitative field observation method that makes use of interval sampling to record student affect and behavior. Data from BROMP observations are used as labels to create student models. The BROMP protocol has been used in at least 5 countries and has become a de facto standard for classroom observations. So, so for now, I would like to ask our president, FC President Tanya Petrovic, to present the certificate virtually to Dr. Rodrigo. Okay, so I think you can see the certificate being flashed here. Okay, congratulations again. But before that, I need to move on to the ECRA awards, and then we'll come back to the 2 winners to deliver your thank you speech. Okay, so now we move on to FC Early Career Researcher Award, and the award recognizes, or in short, is ECRA. ECRA recognizes an active FC member in early stages of his or her career, no later than 12 years after receipt of their doctoral degree, who has produced international quality research outputs and be able to demonstrate ambitions and aspirations consistent with the potential to achieve world-leading status. Again, it's the same that award was launched in 2009 for every 2 years, and starting from 2014, is provided every year. And again, at most one ECRA winner will be presented each year, and it was selected by our executive committee. And this year's winner is Dr. Bo Chiang. Okay. Dr. Chiang is an associate professor at the East China Normal University, China. And his multidisciplinary background supports his research goal of creating a new educational technologies to improve students' learning and cultivating students' computational thinking as well as artificial intelligence literacy. His research interests include intelligent tutoring technologies, computational thinking education, and AI in education. Again, congratulations, and I would like to invite Professor Mitrovic to present the award virtually to Dr. Chiang. Okay, again. Thank you. So now, may I invite Professor Rodrigo to deliver a 3-minute thank you speech, please.
Thank you very much, Lungshang, and thank you to APSI for this award. APSI has been a huge part of my career, and it is an honor to. The first time I attended an ICCE conference was back in 1997, and I became active in the community maybe in the mid 2000s, but I never dreamed, I never thought that I could reach a point where I could contribute very substantially to the community, because as a young researcher in the presence of so many senior people, you're really not sure if you will ever reach that point. So to receive this is a tremendous honor, and I am very grateful to APSI for providing this very nurturing, mentoring, welcoming community that has made my research possible and actually relevant. I do feel very much like I am a part of this community, and I'm grateful to all of you, and I hope to continue to be a part of this community in the years to come. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Rodrigo, and then we move on to Professor Bo Chiang for your 3-minute speech.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for APSI to give me this award. I'm so excited, and actually in my academic life in computing education is begin from SCCE. I remember in 2015 in China. I participated at SCCE as a local organizer, and SCCE is the first conference in the area of computing education I participated, and APSI is also the first academic community I joined after I graduated, after I got my PhD degree. And then I have a lot of things to do, and this award would encourage me to do better research work, to publish more high quality studies and research work in this area in the near future. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. So now I would like to bring it back to our MC for the.
Yes, thank you very much. And congratulations to JD and Professor Bo Chiang again. And next, it's the returns to announce our Best Reviewer Award for ICCE 2021. Please.
Hello again. I think I kind of spoiled this already by announcing their names earlier, but I think now is time to present their certificates. So if I may ask the LOC to show the certificates on the screen. Is that correct? Okay, we are pleased again to present these certificates to our best reviewers in grateful appreciation of their hard work to ensure that they provided truly excellent reviews for the papers that were submitted to our conference. We present this certificate to Lenka Schnaubert. The next one, please. We present the certificate to Jürgen Buder, to Mike Tissenbaum, to Nigel Stanger, to Bian Wu, to Chen Yu Li, Susan Gui, Alex Bolton, Hayo Renders, Jan Polowski. Thank you once again to all of you for ensuring that the papers that come to ICCE are the very best quality.
Okay, thank you very much and congratulations to all of you. And next, Professor Rustam Cherdit will present the tutorial conductors.
Good morning, everyone. Today we have certificates for tutorial conductors. And I'm Rustam Cherdit from Nanjing Normal University, honored to present them. Is it possible to, okay, thank you. So we give these certificates of appreciation in recognition of contribution as the ICC 2021 tutorial conductor. And we present 4 certificates to Aryo Pinandito and Didik Dvi Prasetya, and then Yusuke Hayashi and Tsukasa Hirashima. Thank you for your contribution.
Okay, thank you very much. And next, please welcome Ms. Nida to present the Early Career Workshop panelist.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Sawadi Arun Sawat. The Early Career Workshop started in 2016 and has since provided mentorship and support to early career researchers during and post ICCE. This year, ECW has lined up 4 remarkable mentors for the workshop participants, from whom we have heard constructive, exciting, useful, and inspiring advices yesterday. So on behalf of the Early Career Workshop co-chairs, I would like to present the Certificate of Appreciation to our speakers and mentors. Thank you, Professor Dr. Maria Mercedes Rodrigo, as our speaker. And our mentors, thank you, Professor Dr. Guo Jen Huang. Thank you, Professor Dr. Heinz Ulrich Ho. And finally, thank you, Professor Dr. Kulthida TUAMSUK. Thank you, Kun Jak Kai. Terima kasih.
Okay, thank you very much. And next, I will give the floor to Professor Maurice Zhong to present the Doctoral Students Consortium mentors.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me, right?
Yes.
Nice to meet you all online. And I'm the chair of DSC this year. And it is our honor to have 3 mentors this year, including, can anyone show the certificate here? Yeah. So this year we got three mentors. The first one is Yulin Shi from the National Central University, Taiwan. Thank you for her participation yesterday. And the second mentor is Professor Yan Jie-Shuang from the Education University of Hong Kong. And the last one is Professor Hiraki Okato from Kyoto University. So many thanks for their participation and the advice given to our DSC student yesterday. We got a very fruitful discussion yesterday. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now I would like to present one of the special events for today, the live performance of contemporary dancing style from Thailand. This performance called Phon Gom Kham. It is a Northern Thai contemporary dancing style that represents the important and beautiful Lana lanterns, which is a Northern Thai style. Northern Thai people hang these lanterns during Loi Krathong festival to worship the Buddha. Please enjoy Phon Gom Kham performing by the student of Arts Club from Ratchamongkol University of Technology, Pranakon. Thank you very much for this beautiful performance. Everyone, if you please give them a big round approach, and then you can take a snapshot in order to get there.
DRA Thailand.
Thank you very much. Okay, next. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now come almost to the end of the opening ceremony. Before ending, I would like to invite all of you to join our social activity. So may I invite Professor Charanchai to tell us this exciting activity.
Hi everyone, I'm Charanchai, and I'm happy to introduce our social activity this year. We have the activity called Nice Thailand. Everyone can join us live on the Facebook, ICCE Facebook, simply following these 3 steps. Number 1, just enjoy watching our 2 special videos, clips, amazing Thai desert, and a beautiful Thai flower garden. As you can see on my screen here, and then you just simply give the comments below the post. Which one do you like the most, why you love them, and which country you are from. And then you can, we're gonna announce the winners in our closing ceremony this Friday. And we have some special souvenir for the winners. Let's join us on our ICCE Facebook. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And for your information, after the opening ceremony, there are 2 interesting events in this conference hall. At 9:40, we will have a DRA speech by Professor Maria Mercedes Tirodigo. And at about 10:10, you will meet our keynote speaker, Professor Kulthida TUAMSUK. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the opening ceremony. I am thankful to all guests and participants to this ceremony. Now, may I give the floor to Professor Lung Cheng Wang in order to introduce our DRA speech. Please welcome. Lung Cheng, are you here?
I think we can, no, in fact, we can go ahead, just invite our Professor Rodrigo to deliver your speech. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, hello, hello again, everyone. I know that we are running a little short on time, so I will. I have prepared a presentation, and what I will try to do is I will try to go over it quickly so we can make up some of the time that we lost. All right, but first of all, thank you so much to LOC for preparing the very excellent opening ceremony. I know you worked on it very hard, and we practiced it several times. You practiced it several times, and it all came together. It showed. So thank you so much. And the dance was beautiful. Okay, the title of my talk is Pseudo-Random Walks in Education and Technology, and here I would like to talk a little about my lab, which is the Ateneo Laboratory for the Learning Sciences, which was established in 2010. Our 2 main areas of interest were the design and development of educational games and learning analytics. Now, why do I say that this is a pseudo-random walk? I was thinking of a title, and really it came because somebody recently asked me for my lab's mission vision statement, and the truth is that we don't have one. I wish I could tell you that I had some divine inspiration as to what our core focus would be, but the truth is a lot of what we do is driven really by interest. So we have research interests, and our specific projects are largely a function of opportunity. They could be the partnerships that took 2 or 3 years to ripen, or the people whom we've met along the way who have given us inspiration, and I'll talk a little about inspiration later on. So we pursue things that really capture imagination and interest and passion. And what I'll try to talk about today are some of the work that we've done. First, let's talk about the educational games that we've done. Our general parameters for choosing what games to develop are first that we look at the subject areas that are underserved. So these include things like Philippine history and culture. Many people already do games for math, for science, for English, because these are like universal. But the only Filipinos will make games for Philippine history and culture. No one else will. And so we tried to focus our energy here. We also tried to serve underserved institutions such as local museums. And we looked at things like newer technologies like augmented reality and virtual reality. And we also do mobile learning because there's quite a lot of mobile phones among our population. This is regardless of socioeconomic status. The mobile games for literacy that we've created are things like Bigkas, which is a game for learning about synonyms, antonyms, and rhymes. We've made a version for English and a version for Filipino. We've also created games for noticing details. And there are two games. One is called Learning the Music for the Fiesta, and the other is called Learning the Cat Rangers to the Rescue. The challenge for learners here is to essentially pick out correct items based on descriptions. So for them to be able to pick out the correct item, they need to pay attention to the details that the game characters give them. We've created augmented reality applications for museums such as my museum in the Philippines, obviously. And this is Museo Pambata, which is a children's museum in Manila. We've created an application for them as well. The oldest augmented reality game that we created is something called Ikaw Intramuros, which is a history adventure that you use when you walk around the old historic capital of Intramuros, which is in Manila. When some of you came to the Philippines, I think some of you visited Intramuros. Our latest game is called For People and Planet, an SDG adventure, and this is a game that teaches about sustainability. The player plays a narrative-based adventure game intended for the Android phone or tablet, and it helps the players to see the sustainable development goals in their day-to-day lives. The player is a middle school student in rural community in the Philippines. This is the player, and you'll notice that this can be a boy or a girl. We wanted an image that was non-gender specific. And the player goes to different farmers, fishermen, and teachers and other places in order to fulfill game quests. In order to create these games for learning, we've worked closely with members of the target audience and with teachers. We also talked a lot to subject matter experts. We worked with artists, sound engineers. These are all multidisciplinary efforts. And we field tested these games. We actually did take them to the learners to try them out. We are continuing to field test some of them. In fact, we're in the middle of a couple of field tests now, and we hope to share those results with you later, maybe next year. The other learning analytics work, the other area of work that we do is on learning analytics. Lung Xiang mentioned that we do some eye tracking work. We look at how novices versus experts trace through buggy code. We wanted to see if there were differences in debugging strategies of individuals and whether we could see how partners could collaborated together. We would give programmers a description of what the code was supposed to do. And we show them the code, and you can see the yellow lines here, the eye track, the trace of the eye tracking. And the circles here are, sorry, the ovals are supposed to be marks that the user uses to indicate where the bug is. I've had two PhD students analyze the data. One is Christine Tablatin, and she found that there are indeed differences between novices and experts. And what she did was she tried to teach the better strategies to her students, and she found that these better strategies have actually improved the performance of the novices. The other person who worked on this data set was Maureen Villamore. She looked at how pairs of programmers looked at the code, and she noticed that expert programmers took less time, looked at fewer places, and were able to identify the bugs faster. Novices tended to stare but not see, which is to say that they actually did look at the place where the bug was, but they didn't identify it as a bug, which means that they didn't actually understand that the bug was there. We've also used learning analytics to analyze game behaviors. This is a game called Newton's Playground or Physics Playground, and the objective is to get this green ball over here to the red balloon down here, and you do that by drawing a combination of ramps and pendulums and springboards. The people who have worked on this are Michelle Banawan. One of them is Michelle Banawan, who is a member of our community. She was looking at things like whether players were being careful, and this was determined by the number of objects drawn and the amount of time spent before an action. And of course, Meta Landron, who is also a member of our community, she looked at the incubation effect, which is defined as taking a break from an unsolved problem and returning to it later. For her work, May actually was awarded the best paper in 2019. And she was able to present this paper, not just in ICCE, but also in AIEB as a representative of our community. Okay, what are our ways forward? The current work that we're doing now is on the use of Minecraft and STEM. And this was a project that was actually presented at ICCE in New Zealand. And it was by Dr. Chad Lane. I talked to him then whether it was possible for us to collaborate, and it took 2 or 3 years before the collaboration materialized. But essentially, what the team of Dr. Lane did was they created these hypothetical versions of Earth on Minecraft in order to teach students about how we would be affected. Let's say if Earth had no moon, or if Earth was slightly more tilted, and so on. So what are the scenarios are based on actual consultations with real scientists, so they aren't science fiction. We're also doing analysis on learning management system data, which is especially relevant now during the pandemic, since all of our students are studying online. We were interested in their student behaviors, and the person who is helping me with this is Mr. Kiel Lagnay, who is in the audience now. We're trying to also do more field testing of the work that the games that we had developed before. We're working more closely with teachers to develop lesson plans for the older games, as well as for Minecraft and for the Sustainable Development Goals games. And we're hoping that we're going to be able to see and report results. There are some continuing challenges to this. There are certain factors that are beyond our control. So like the schools, a lot of our public schools have limited hardware, software, and connectivity. And so they cannot really take advantage of the games that we have created. Also, the AR games were completed just before the pandemic, and since you have to be in the museums to use them, we weren't able to get that much traction, but that's no one's fault. That is COVID. Also, one of the things we realized is that just because you field test something doesn't mean that teachers and students are going to use it. We're discovering that we really need to work with teachers very closely to develop lesson plans and curriculum. We need to develop more resources to helping them bring the game and the curriculum together. Even though we took a participatory design approach, it's not enough. We really do need to help them take the games to the classroom, and that's what we're trying to do now. Okay, I would like, before I end, I really do want to thank the very many people and institutions who helped us. I work in a Jesuit school, and one of our not our Jesuit priest, but a Jesuit priest from another sister school once said, "If there's no money, there's no mission." And we all know this. If you don't get funding, there's only so much you can do with your research. So I thank my funders. Other funders include the British Council, the Office of Global Research Global, and TITED. I would be dead in the water without the people who journeyed with me all this time. There's Kel, Eric, David, Jess, Nathan, Rose. I don't know if this is familiar, but this was taken during ICCE in New Zealand. So Michelle, Christina, and Maui. And then this was taken in ICCE 2019. So this is our group. And so this is May, Rex, Dom, Monica, Christine, Jen, and Ingrid. And some of them are actually presenting again this year. And then finally, I really do need to thank APSI, because APSI has been such a huge part of my career. APSI has provided a venue for publication. So all of the work that I reported to you earlier has been presented at ICCE and has been published in RPTEL. And aside from that, APSI has been a source of research collaboration. So a long time ago, in 2013, almost 10 years ago, we actually did some work with Tanya. I met Dr. Hong Fa Ho of NTNU in ICCE 2014, and he was the one that got us started on our eye tracking work. And then I mentioned about research inspiration. I'm not on this paper, obviously. This is a paper by Hiroaki Ogata's team. But this was a source of inspiration for the LMS work that we're doing now. So really, being part of this community has been extremely helpful and enriching, and I am very grateful to that. And then finally, back in 2018, APSI allowed us to host ICCE, and it was an honor and a pleasure, and we hope that in the years ahead we will be given the opportunity again. I'm going to end here. Thank you so much for this award and this opportunity.
Thank you, Professor Rodrigo. So maybe I thought I should explain why Dr. Rodrigo has been given this 20-minute slot, plenary slot to present her work, because she's actually the winner of Distinguished Researcher Award this year. And starting from last year, all the DRA winners are given this slot right after the opening ceremony as a privilege or as kind of what she's awarded. So I hope that through her presentation, we know that she really deserves this award, and we hope that this is the best thing, available things have done so far, and we can look forward for even better things ahead. And also, of course, I think for the rest of you who have listened to her speech, you think that there's something that you should collaborate, contact her. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Marian Mercedes Rodrigo, again, for your remarkable speech. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, may I invite Dr. Thepchai Sapniti from NECTEC to introduce our keynote speaker. Please welcome.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Okay, This is the first of our keynote speaker in ICCE 2021. First, I would like to introduce our first keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Kulthida TUAMSUK. Professor Dr. Kulthida TUAMSUK is currently a professor and senior researcher in information science at Khon Kaen University, Thailand. She is a founder and director of the KKU Smart Learning Academy, which is one of the most well-known projects on the development of students' competency and the secondary level in Thailand. This project is established based on the research work in multidisciplinary done by researchers from various faculties in Khon Kaen University. The KKU Smart Learning Project has launched and implemented an innovative model for transforming the learning ecology in classroom through the principal concept, transforming the students' learning by transforming the classroom and the teaching approach. The impacts of this project recognized at the national level and accepted by Ministry of Education. And Professor Kulthida is also specialized in digital humanity research. He is a founder of Digital Humanity Institute in Khon Kaen University. And her research work in this field are well recognized and published in high-quality international journal. And she is a co-founder of a consortium of high school in Asia Pacific, member of the Committee on Digital Humanities High School Organization, and the former members of International Relations Affairs, the Association for Information Science and Technology. Please welcome Professor Dr. Kulthida TUAMSUK.
Thank you, Dr. Tepachai. Good morning. The conference chair, the organizing committee, and all distinguished participants to the ICEE 2021. I am very honored and pleased to be invited as a keynote speaker of such an important conference that has been ongoing annually for 29 years, and a conference where I have opportunity to meet with renowned and leading academics and researchers in the educational technology. I'm not specialized in this field, so feel a little bit excitement to see you all this morning. The topic that I'm going to present today is digital learning ecosystem to transforming classroom into learning community. Emphasis will be on my experience in strengthening the learning competency of students under the KKU Smart Learning. My talk will cover 4 topics. First, I will relate to you about the KKU Smart Learning Academy, which at present has been founded as a Smart Learning Innovation Research Center, or SLERC, so that you have a picture of this academy. And second, I will discuss the KKU Smart Learning Model, which is the principle and concept of learning competency development of students from the research and development of the team in the project. And then I will give you the overview of how KKU Smart Learning Model has been used at schools and the making process of digital learning ecosystem in classroom that promotes student learning. And last topic will be a conclusion showing that what we have learned from the implementation of the project. So the first topic would be on the background and rationale of KKU Smart Learning Academy. KKU Smart Learning Academy began in 2017, so 5 years ago. It is a project of Khon Kaen University to transfer the research outcomes and innovation to area development, dealing with particular on the education, which is the important issue of the northeast of Thailand. Report from various sources provide general information that students in the Northeast perform lower the competency test than in other regions, no matter what it is, what we call ONET, the Ordinary National Education Test, and the PISA, which we all know that it's an international test from OECD. When we analyzed more in depth, we found the cause of the social dimension, including educational gap, access to quality education because of the students living in the remote areas, poverty, migration of fathers and mothers to work in other regions, and the educational management dimension, including shortage of teachers, a number of teachers not having skills of new instructional approach, insufficient support technology for instruction, and their technology has not been appropriately used. And many students also have to help their family working and cannot pay full attention to their study. So the working team therefore posed the question, how KKU could take part in developing students' competency from the basis of our research and related experience that we have had and allow us to start the project. The working team therefore studied the standards curricula of the Ministry of Education, the ONET and the PISA test, which is the test for students at 15 years old age. And this test comprised of 3 subject areas, is the reading literacy, mathematical literacy, and science literacy. We also discussed the idea of developing students' competency by using new instructional approach and model technologies in the teaching and learning to fit with the student learning style. This allows us to see the gap of weakness in the instructional management at school that obstructs student competitive competency and that is not prepare the student for their future learning. Therefore, we chose to carry out the project with the secondary school student grade 7 to 9, age of 13 to 15 years. We also decided to carry out the project at the medium-sized secondary schools with a number of students about 500 and not more than 1,500. At least there are teachers who are responsible for English teaching, math teaching, and science teaching for each class. And other requisite would be at least they should have technologies, tools and technology for developing a kind of minimum standard for smart classroom in the school. And most important that most students having mobile phones or there are some internet access at the school. So the project has been proposed to the university and then we start. The first stage of the project in 2017 was a pilot study with cooperation from medium-sized schools in 4 provinces in the northeast of Thailand, which are Roi Et, Khon Kaen, Mahasarakham, and Kalasin. You can see the yellow color in the map. That's the first 4 provinces. So we start 10 schools from each, Roi Et, Mahasarakham, and Kalasin, and 15 at Khon Kaen city, province, because the university is located here. So at the beginning, we start with 45 schools. 6 months later, after the start, the government granted us. So it means that we have some performance, and the Prime Minister see our products, so the government granted us some amount of budget to carry out the project to cover the whole region, northeastern region of Thailand. In 2018, we expanded the project to the medium and small size schools in all of the Northeast province. Altogether, in 4 years, we have 204 schools under the project with 3,149 English, mathematics, and science teachers and 78,300 students of grade 7 to 9. Also, there are people who involved with the project, such as 612 school administrators. There are directors, there are director of school, director of the administrative of the regional office, and also head of subjects and the teachers in the school. And also 47 of the educational supervisors. In the year of 2020, we start another implementation with the provincial administrative organization in Khon Kaen. Now it's the second year of the implementation at this area. So you might understand that school basic education in Thailand are under also Ministry of Education, and another one is all the local government. So these schools are under the local government. So there are 16 schools under this implementation. You can see that KKU Smart Learning is a multidisciplinary research and academic service project. So there are researchers. I just want to show this because this is one of the significant part of our management and always recognized as very, very large project comprised of many researchers from different disciplines in the university. The researchers are from like 7 faculties: humanities and social science, education, science, engineering, business administration, interdisciplinary science, College of Local Administration, and even veterinary medicine, and the Center of Teaching of Innovation and Learning. So we divide our research team into English team, math team, science team, and also researcher in training team, and monitoring team, and test. After we implement our research at school, we test the students. So, and also we have staff of the center. That's probably an overview of our Smart Learning Academy, which is now, I just refer to you that it's a research center of Khon Kaen University. The next topic, I will talk about KKU Smart Learning Model. At the beginning of the project, I have explained it to you. The team create a model as the conceptual framework for developing the innovations that would be put into real use. We have held on to the same target and directions. From the chart, you can see that it shows the model that KKU Smart Learning is an educational innovation that integrate technology applications in the process of learning enhancement. The goal is to build smart learner on the top of the chart, see, who possess the expected competencies in knowledge, skills, and personal attributes. Personal attribute can be something about ethical and moral thing, which the very important part in in Thai culture. So of which in our case, these competency would learn or acquire from 3 subjects of study: English, mathematics, and science in grade 7 to 9. The expected competency were obtained from an analysis of standard curriculum of the Ministry of Education, the PISA and the O-NET test, the future skill that the student should have, and the related academic standards such as CEFR, which is the standard of language, English language as a second language that we adapted or we use from the Common European Framework, and the STEM. These are some standards that we also analyze what should be in our package. This step was carried out by educators, teachers, and related individuals at several levels. So this is done kind of the beginning of the project. And what I would like to share to you in this slide is the just a second, I lost my note. So in this slide, we would like to share our principle of working on the KKU Smart Learning. You see, we call this concept as the 3 T's transforming something. So we believe that, or we agree that on the if you want to transform the student competency to be a smart learner, the most important thing that we really need to transform the classroom, change the way the teacher teach in the classroom. Under this, to change all this, so we all agree to work on 3 things that are very important in each subject study. The first is the contents. We really need to follow the curriculum of the Ministry of Education, but we don't copy their textbook, we don't copy the contents, but we it's kind of we redo on the content so that when we use in the classroom, it still put the importance on the knowledge base and give the importance also to the situational experience, the local context, and connect the content to the application, the problem solving, and the real life of the student. The second one is the pedagogy. So for the pedagogy, we would want to use the active learning in our instruction, so that we can create the skill of the student, especially on the 4 C skills. Actually, we have 6 skills, but what we have really want to do is the collaborative learning, critical thinking, communication, and another one is the computational skill. And the last one here on this slide, that's another component, is the learning environment. So teaching and learning in classroom should have sort of vital environment. So should encourage activities and give the student to have accessibility for learning support and technology infrastructure and applications. If you look at the left part of this slide, from just what I said about the principle, so on each subject, English, mathematics, and science, which are the courses. And we put the components that each course, the researcher team would create or develop their study, their products under the principle, which have to compose of content, pedagogy, and learning environments. These led to the following 3 products. If you see on the right-hand side, these are the products from our research. So we called it, the first one we call learning package, and then teaching package, and the training package. The learning packages is the package for learners that can be textbook or exercises, which contains that in accordance with the curriculum of the Ministry of Education for each grade 7, 8, and 9, dividing into learning unit according to the content. There are also activities, exercise for digital application and web application for each part of the content that the student can scan the QR code and link to the knowledge base built at KKU Smart Learning Server. The teaching package is the teacher manual, which contains divided into teaching units according to the curriculum of each course, including details of instructional approach, arrangement of activities, and use of technology or teaching kits. And the training package is developed as a guideline for training teachers to use the innovation in the classroom instruction. The training can be both on-site and online, with a system for managing the individual teacher's information in order to analyze and the strength and the weakness, and can be in turn used for self-development. This is example of the package. This the Smart English package. The Smart English package is called TICA model, which stands for task, input, genre, and access. It is a model used task-based learning and communicative language learning, which emphasize a task for the learners to learn and communicate by using the language. So in this package, there are also the textbook, which usually in Thai school, they buy textbook from the commercial, what are available in the market, you know, and just put into the teaching, the classroom. But we create the textbook for them under the standard of what they need to learn by the Ministry of Education. In the textbook, there are lessons and connect, and also some application that the student can use and learn by themselves at home. And also the teacher kits that we prepare for the teachers so that they can use in the classroom. There are also PowerPoint video clip that and also classroom languages that they can use, so that enable the learners and the teacher use English in the classroom. Don't just speak Thai language in the English class. The next one, this is the math for the KKU Smart Learning Math. It's designed based on the active learning to build learners true and deep understanding in comprehensive mathematics concept. We know that most students are afraid of learning math and don't like to learn math. So we change how the student can learn it more funny. It's not too serious to learn math, and you can understand math by having the good prepare, you know, of the teacher for them to learn. So these set improve different different mathematical skill, as well as applying mathematics to solve problems in daily life. There are skill practice book, there are web applications and online media for the student to use. This is just some example of smart science learning, which is called MC Square. This has been developed with the 5 components to change the school instruction management. The mobile and ubiquitous technology were used to support student learning and to develop the skill for searching the truth by proving, which is the basic principle in science. Learning opportunities are built by overcoming the obstacle in the missing of real laboratory. There are many schools that don't have lab, science lab. So this technology can help the teacher and the student learning science from virtual lab or sim lab. So enabling students to learn some phenomena that are invisible to the eyes and study some of the objects and materials that cannot really bring into the classroom. So the package have science textbook, science lab, or we call sim lab, and science note or iNote. That's a kind of inquiry. There are questions for students and they can solve the problem by answering question and get into the real situation, and it's kind of science using scientific method in this package, and the science homework and assignment and science teacher development program. In addition, in our innovative package, we have used TPAC, technological, pedagogical, and content knowledge system for following up the teacher competency development. So for each training, there are pre-test and post-test that allow us to following up the teachers in terms of, you see on the slide, TK, technology and knowledge, PK, CK. I think you are all familiar with this if you study, you are in the area of educational technology. So these can analyze teacher competency by using the pre-test and post-test after the training. So it can be on the individual basis and all the school basis. So the information very useful for us to prepare teacher development in each year that we working with them. We also developed the student learning assessment system, which we call PISA-like. You remember at the beginning that we start the project by looking at our kind of performance of the student in Thailand, which have very low score on the PISA-like. So PISA-like is one of the key component of our research. That's why we developed PISA-like test to see after our implementation what would be what we would get or what we can see how the student competency change or develop. The PISA-like is pretty much different from the PISA of OECD in terms of we can really measure the student competency on the English, on the math and the science, and we can also distinguish into the measurement of the knowledge, the skills, and the personal attributes of each student. The report can be on the individual level, on the school level, and even on the regional level. The KKU Smart Learning process, in this chart, you see on the left is the thing that I just described from the beginning. This is research and development process. So on the left, we produce what we would like to call the innovative products. So we have learning package, teaching package, and training package. According to our conceptual framework from the beginning. And then the research team work with the schools, work with the Office of the Regional Education, Office of Provincial Education, especially work with the teacher who will use our innovation in the classroom, at school. So we emphasize cooperation with school to make sure there is collaboration in the developing student competencies. Therefore, meeting with the schools, meeting with the teacher always be on the schedule. And also meeting with many levels of people who are involved in the basic education, because we know that if we bring this into school without the permission or without the agreement of the Ministry of Education, those high rankings in the nation, it would not work. You know, policy level is very important. So we have the agreement with the Ministry of Education, with the Office of Primary Education in Thailand, and also with all the provincial education office. During the preparation step, a survey was carried out on the infrastructure and technology of each school so that we can at least arrange a smart classroom according to the condition of the school with different technology and equipment. For the implementation process, we provide training for teachers and then transfer the innovation package to them. The teacher used KKU Smart Learning in their classroom instruction. And we also develop what is called communication channels that teacher can share and exchange of their teaching outcomes. So the teacher can produce video clip of their teaching or even photographs or the materials that they also created for their teaching. Even the process that their teaching approach that they use in the classroom, share this in the channel, which we use social media application, Facebook group, Line groups. That's this kind of professional learning community of the teachers. And at the monitoring process, supervision is done by the educational supervision who are from the provincial office. So they help us to monitor, and working with our team who went to school at the end of each semester. And last, we do on the evaluation, both the teacher evaluation and students' competency evaluation by using the PISA Lite. That's kind of the cycle of our project management. This, I just want to show the photo of the Prime Minister of Thailand visit us, and the Minister of Education. In 4 years, we already have 3 Minister of Education. We used too many people, you know, we use lots of manpower for the Minister of Education. But you can see that we are recognized by the higher ranking in the national education management. And these are photos of our teacher training. At the beginning, it was done on site. You can see in one photo here, there were like thousands of teachers come from all provinces in the northeast of Thailand to join the training. But in a couple semester in this year, we use online only. And this is the atmosphere in class, that normally if you look at the class teaching in Thai school, they would sit all faces to the same direction, but we change them to group learning, and they don't really need table whatsoever. They can learn together, not just facing the backboard in front of the classroom. So and we use technology. Students use mobile phone and or tablets that are available as a learning tool. This is not common in Thai classroom because you might have heard that they are not allowed to bring mobile phone into the classroom. But for our approach, we encourage teacher allow the student to use mobile phone as a teaching tool. We also have done some smart camp that organized by taking about 300 to 400 students and from each school, maybe 10 of them, to be together. That's before COVID-19 though. So it is a pity that we cannot do this anymore. At the camp, the students develop their digital learning skills, perform projects together, from setting the problem, searching information, analyze and produce media or application, and present their work outcome and comment other group, so that kind of skill that we want them to have, and know some people from other school, not just in the classroom. This is the atmosphere of the student taking KKU Pisalai. So the teachers are working with us to carry on the test administration. I just want to share with you this video. It takes about 5 minutes. Let's see.
คือใช้สแกน QR code ค่ะในหนังสือแบบฝึกหัดเรียนของม.ขอนแก่นนั่นแหละค่ะ QR code นี่ก็จะมีแบบฝึกหัดแล้วก็ช่วยให้เราเข้าใจง่ายขึ้นเรียนสนุกขึ้นครับมันน่าค้นหามันอยากรู้อยากลองมากขึ้นค่ะที่ได้ใช้คือสแกนเข้าไปปุ๊บนี้สมมุติว่าเราไม่เข้าใจว่านี่แบบฝึกหัดตัวนี้มันต้องทำยังไงมันต้องมีแบบการคำนวณอะไรเงี้ยแล้วก็ลองกดเข้าไปมันก็จะมีอย่างเช่นตัวอย่างค่ะตัวอย่างว่าข้อนี้นะเราต้องคูณหารแบบนี้มันถึงจะได้ผลลัพธ์ออกมาเป็นแบบนี้ค่ะชอบเรียนเป็นกลุ่มเพราะว่าเราได้ระดมความคิดกันค่ะว่ามีคนนี้มีความคิดเห็นยังไงมีความเห็นยังไงค่ะช่วยให้ความคิดเห็นบ้างบางครั้งที่เราไม่รู้เราก็ถามเพื่อนถามครูก็ให้คำปรึกษาให้คำตอบได้ไอน์สไตน์ค่ะก็คือแบบมันสนุกค่ะกดเข้าไปแล้วมันก็จะมีคำถามที่เราคือแบบมันไม่ใช่คำถามที่ต้องไปหาไกลค่ะมันก็เป็นคำถามที่เราเรียนมาหลังเรียนเสร็จแล้วเราก็ได้ตอบคำถามมันก็ไม่ต้องไปหาคำตอบไกลๆค่ะคือมันเป็นคำตอบที่เราเรียนอยู่แล้วเราก็ได้คำตอบจากในสมุดในหนังสือนี่แหละค่ะ
แรกๆเราจะเห็นนักเรียนออกไปเล่นเกมข้างนอกแล้วร้านเกมก็จะห่างจากโรงเรียนประมาณสัก200 เมตรแล้วทีนี้ก็เปลี่ยนใหม่ว่าในเมื่อเด็กเล่นเกมเราก็เอาอะไรที่อยู่ในมือเขาเนี่ยเทคโนโลยีในมือเขาเนี่ยซึ่งเขามีทุกคนเนี่ยในการใช้ให้เกิดประโยชน์เราเริ่มต้นจากการทำ QR code ง่ายๆแล้วก็กิจกรรมในห้องเรียนนะครับสแกนทำกิจกรรมต่างๆให้มีทีวีให้มีสมาร์ททีวีเพื่อจะให้ตอบสนองกับสิ่งที่เรามีมันก็เลยทำให้การเรียนการสอนเด็กก็อยู่ในโทรศัพท์อันนี้คือเราก็รู้สึกว่าเด็กอยู่กับเราเดิมคุณครูก็จะแค่จัดทำแผนการจัดการเรียนรู้แล้วก็มาสอนตามแผนมีใบงานมีใบความรู้ปกติทีนี้การที่ KKU Smart Learning เนี่ย เข้ามามันก็จะเป็นชุดการเรียนการสอนที่เป็นอุปกรณ์ถ้ามองวิทยาศาสตร์ก็จะเป็นอุปกรณ์ชัดเจนมากขึ้นในการวางแผนการจัดการเรียนการสอนมันก็จะตอบสนองกับโรงเรียนเราพอดีที่เราใช้ในการจัดการเรียนการสอนคือใช้สมาร์ทโฟนตัวชี้วัดมาตรฐานการเรียนรู้ก็อันเดียวกันเนาะแต่ว่าเนื้อหามันก็จะช่วยให้เราทำกิจกรรมจากต้องการสิ่งนี้มันไปได้ไวขึ้นแล้วมองที่ประเด็นว่ามันไปถึงแล้วก็เด็กเห็นอย่างเรื่องของความร้อนอย่างเงี้ยเด็กก็จะเห็นว่าอ๋อมีฮีตเตอร์ให้ความร้อนน้ำมีอะไรคือจะเป็นอุปกรณ์ที่ช่วยเราได้ดีแต่เสริมให้เราได้ทำกิจกรรมในเรื่องของการจัดการเรียนสอนให้ดีขึ้นในแนวโน้มคือสูงขึ้นในยุคใหม่ที่ควรจะเป็นก็คือเก่งด้านเทคโนโลยีใช้เทคโนโลยีให้เกิดประโยชน์เรียนรู้จากแหล่งต่างๆนอกจากเป็นห้องเรียน
ถ้าพูดถึงนวัตกรรมก็คือให้5 ดาว เป็นการกระตุ้นความสนใจนักเรียนค่ะทำให้นักเรียนสนุกสนานเพิ่มมากขึ้นอย่างแรกเลยต้องคิดวิเคราะห์เป็นนะคะไม่เชื่ออะไรง่ายๆเพราะว่าข้อมูลข่าวสารมันเยอะใช่ไหมคะถ้าเด็กนักเรียนเชื่ออะไรง่ายๆนี่ก็คือจบเลยก็คือถ้าสมมติว่าถ้าเด็กใช้โทรศัพท์มือถือในการหาคำศัพท์แต่ว่าเด็กอาจจะไปเจอข้อความจาก Facebook หรือว่า LINE มันก็จะดึงความสนใจของเขาจากวิชาการนี้ไปเป็นแต่ว่ามีประโยชน์ก็คือจะทำให้นักเรียนได้เรียนรู้จากเทคโนโลยีก็คือจะมีความรู้มากขึ้นมากกว่าฟังครูผู้สอนคือแบบเดิมนะคะแต่ก่อนก็คือเป็นครูมานี่ปีที่10นะคะปกติก็จะสอนแบบบรรยายคืออธิบายเนื้อหาหน้าชั้นเรียนให้นักเรียนทำแบบฝึกหัดแล้วก็เฉลยซึ่งนักเรียนที่เข้าใจก็จะมีเฉพาะนักเรียนที่ตั้งใจเรียนแล้วก็เป็นเด็กที่กลุ่มเก่งส่วนกลุ่มอ่อนหรือว่ากลุ่มปานกลางก็จะไม่ค่อยเข้าใจไม่สนใจเรียนนะคะพอมาใช้นวัตกรรม KKU นะคะก็คือนักเรียนทั้งกลุ่มอ่อนกลุ่มปานกลางกลุ่มเก่งก็คือจะสนใจมากขึ้นเพราะว่ามันมีกิจกรรมที่หลากหลายทำให้นักเรียนผลการเรียนดีขึ้นค่ะ
ใช้ในการเล่นเกมกับเพื่อนในห้องแล้วก็มีสแกน QR code เพื่อหาความรู้รอบตัวทำแบบฝึกหัดสอนดีค่ะเนื้อหาดีเข้าใจง่ายแล้วก็ได้เรียนรู้สิ่งต่างๆที่ไม่เคยรู้มาก่อนเรียนรู้เกี่ยวกับสิ่งแวดล้อมใกล้ตัวเราได้เพิ่มมากขึ้นได้รู้ในเกี่ยวกับหัวข้อต่างๆที่เรียนซึ่งแต่ก่อนก็ไม่เคยได้เรียนแบบนี้ค่ะ
ก็คือเราไม่ได้มานั่งท่องแล้วว่าถ้า A เท่ากับ B แล้ว B เท่ากับ A คือสมบัติการสมมาตรนะแต่ก่อนเราก็จะสอนแบบนี้เลยแต่พอมาใช้นวัตกรรมเขามันก็เข้าท่าดีมันเป็นลักษณะเหมือนสร้างองค์ความรู้ก่อนให้เด็กเรียนรู้ไปโดยให้เด็กสรุปความเองเด็กก็จะได้สร้างองค์ความรู้เองอาจจะมีเราช่วยแนะนิดนึงช่วยไกด์ขึ้นมาเขาก็จะได้ช่วยกันสร้างไม่ใช่การที่เราบอกแล้วก็ทำตามในตัวนวัตกรรมที่เขาให้เรามาก็เราก็ใช้เอาดูเนื้อหาของเขาสอนแบบไหนก็จะมีแอปพลิเคชันให้เราเข้าไปศึกษาเราจะบอกว่าเราสอนเนื้อหานี้ไปแล้วเนาะหนูไปสแกนแอปพลิเคชันนี้แล้วหนูไปเติมตัวเลขดูนะแล้วก็ลองหาคำตอบดูถ้าเราลองมาใช้ดูเราเห็นผลเราจะสัมผัสกับเด็กได้มันรู้สึกว่าเด็กเข้าใจจริงมากกว่าที่เราเคยสอนแบบเดิม
รู้สึกสนุกในการเรียนสอนดีมากเลยค่ะแบบสอนให้เราคิดคำนวณแล้วการเรียนก็สนุกไปด้วยค่ะแบบนี้ก็จะเซิร์ชใน QR code ค่ะแบบถ้าเราไม่เข้าใจเราก็ลองเข้าไปเล่นได้ค่ะคุณครูก็จะช่วยอธิบายค่ะเวลาเราทำก็แบบเห็นภาพเราก็มีความแบบอยากเรียนอะไรมากขึ้นค่ะก็สนุกมากค่ะแบบมีสีสันอยากเรียนต่อจนจบเลยค่ะไปเข้ามหาวิทยาลัยขอนแก่น
So those are feedback from teachers and students. So we are grateful for that. At least they like it, and it's really useful for school. So the next topic this is the highlight of my keynote today. It will be on the digital learning ecosystem at KKU Smart Learning Classroom. I must tell you that the ecosystem I'm going to talk about is for on-site classroom because KKU Smart Learning has been designed for classroom instruction using technologies to support and stimulate student learning. During the spread of COVID-19, schools have to teach online alternatively with on-site during some periods. For example, the first term of the academic year of 2021, it was almost 100% online. It turns out that the learning set and of the KKU Smart Learning helped the teacher a lot, but they also need to adjust their teaching approach. So now we are in the process of developing what we call a digital learning platform that the teacher can use it for online teaching. The digital learning ecosystem, or the DLE, of KKU Smart Learning, we done this research 8 months ago to kind of look into what we found from the implementation. So you can see that talking about DLE, there are many perspectives to look at. For the KKU, DLE is an ecosystem that makes use of digital technology in the class. Class doesn't have to be a room. Class can be indoors or outdoors or even online. The purpose is to encourage and support learners' learning. So it is not a digital platform that only requires technology, but the DLE of KKU Smart Learning Project is composed of the 3 components. The learning community means the biotic components, including teachers, students, peers, and supporters who use and interact with the abiotic components in the middle of the graphic, in order to design the teaching activities that will lead to active learning and learning atmosphere. If learners are in the comfortable, funny, and happy learning atmosphere, they will be able to develop creative thinking, problem solving, and analytical thinking through active learning. This means the atmosphere must be built efficiently by the learning community. The abiotic component in the central, for example, learning support technology, learning contents, infrastructure, and administration are the center and the important conditions support other components in the DLE. If we look into each of the components, the first one, the learning community, as I said, is composed of biotic components with the role in construction and cooperating the learning process. Teachers use technology in their instruction and construct a learning atmosphere in the classroom, which can be, preparation on the instruction using technology, check the readiness of the tools and equipment, prepare the teaching and learning set that they receive from the KKU Smart Learning, arrange the learning activities through action, teamwork, discussion, presentation to develop and reflect the learning outcomes that assess the expected learnings. And student prepare the learning set that they receive from the KKU Smart Learning, prepare tools and equipment. Students have to have mobile phone or tablet to learn, and they have to have internet access. Study content of the lesson that we prepare for them. More important thing, they have to join in the learning activities by being a team member, give opinion, do the job, and join in the discussion and presentation, something that enhance their learnings. The peers, this is something that we found very useful in our ecology, is that teacher peers in the KKU Smart, you see that we have more than 3,000 teachers in the secondary education level. So these people can share their knowledge and skill, their experience in what we call PLC. This is really useful for them. And the last one, the supporters. So KKU Smart Link team being there as supporter, helping them, advise them when they have problems, and also those who are administrator and supervisor, key component in the supporters. For the active learning, teacher and supporter use technology for active learning instruction to develop student skills. The skills specifically emphasized in KKU Smart Learning because it's a very significant component of PISA test anyway. So we found that it's really creative thinking, problem solving, and analytical thinking on the student. For example, in the English course, students can ask to use technology to build their own profile, which they haven't done before, so they can introduce their family and make a school map, for example. So it's kind of help on the creative and thinking and analytical thinking. In the mathematics, they can build a game of media that links to problems such as shape or quantity, volume, and distance. Inside, they may use SimLab or detective game that require students to use scientific process in analyzing and solving the problems. The learning atmosphere is very important and efficient component in building motivation and stimulating learning. Most teachers confirm that the important thing is to build a learning atmosphere using different technology such as media, games, video, to draw attention of the student and make student pay attention to learn and understand the content. This is important, the content they have to understand, not just for fun, but they have to learn some knowledge. So the atmosphere in classroom for students in grade 7 to 9 who are 13 to 15 years old should not be formal, that's what we found, and must provide comfort, fun, and flexibility, not fixed to any one form, and allow students to think and talk freely. And students do not like straightforward challenges such as picking someone to talk or to show opinion. Students rather prefer messaging, joining in answering questions, and joining in sort of anonymous competition in the class. Therefore, technology is very helpful, in terms of it's kind of a tool to stimulate learning according to the student learning style. For the abiotic component, there are learning support technology, which is of course KKU Smart Learning has provide multiple support, technological support, correspond to the lesson content and expected learning outcome. Therefore, in our package, there are video clips, there are SimLab, digital images, game, drawing tools, writing tool, quiz, and technology that assists the teaching and classroom management, for example, Google Classroom, Google Meet or Zoom, even technology for creating something, for example, media production, software, reporting program, something that will be used for learning support. Learning contents, the lesson have been designed to match the learning and in different from other textbook. That I can claim that our textbook are very different from the others that are available, that they have been used for many years in the classroom, in the secondary education. We also help them to get access to knowledge sources so that they can bring in to use in the classroom learning. Infrastructure, that I think this is another useful component in our ecology. Usually in the school, they have almost everything, but they are in everywhere. Can be in one room, can be in the director's room, can be in different room, but we bring into one smart classroom for them so that they can use technology appropriately. And the last one is the administration management process. It's very important to support the teacher. So we do the teacher training, we create teacher manual, we have advice channel for the communication. That's the components of the digital ecology ecosystem of the KKU Smart Learning approach. So to conclude, I think now it's 11:11. I need maybe 2 or 3 minutes more. To conclude, what we learned from our project, I think for the student need stimulation and support for their learning and developing of intellectual skill for the future. Usually we find that students do not load learning, but they do not prefer uninterested learning atmosphere. I'm not sure compared to other countries, but this is the student at this age, they are teen, 13 and 15, so they love something fun. So it's interesting when I learn from the literature, the atmosphere in the classroom from our model, for our program, are quite different from the other that they find in the literature. We found 3 keywords, fun, happy, and flexible, something. So I think probably these encourage them to want to learn, and many of them say that now I can learn math I like to learn math. Before I hate math, or I'm afraid to learn English language, but now I'm okay, to learn English language something. So that's what we find. The teacher, of course, is the most important person in the learning development process. So, but the problem, I think we always say that teachers have problem. They don't do the job. They don't really take responsibility and do good teaching. But many teachers, they said, I think as we also are the teacher motivation is the fact that the student love to learn. If you see students love to learn and find it successful to learn, that is motivate you to try to teach better and better. So therefore, the teacher must be trained to be able to design instructions that suit to the students' style of learning, able to use digital technology and more tools to their instruction. Many of them just don't know how to use all these technologies. There are too many of them, what kind of them that are good for teaching. This is also one important. And the infrastructure that include technology, equipment, and tools for support learning must be there. Administrators should know. Some administrators don't know that this got to be in the classroom, not in the meeting room only, something like that. So they should know and understand what technologies are good, what are suitable, and what are worth investing. Somebody, no, we don't buy this because they are not used. We don't use them. It's not useful, but because they don't understand. So administrators are most important person also to make it feasible, to bring in some sort of new teaching approach into the school. Social media, you cannot deny, of using them because it's a good tool to build learning community in their peers, teacher, they are boomer, they are Gen X and Y, These people, although they are not good at technology, but they use social media very effectively. They love to use Lines and Facebook and Twitter for showing and sharing or posting some critical issue, but not in the PLC. In the professional learning community, they don't posting that critical. That's interesting. But if we use some kind of these two, they tend to say something on what they find on the experience. Therefore, these channels should be provided to support teacher learning. There should not be fixed, a sort of fixed teaching approach. You use this, you use that, so you have to follow this. So our principle is that teacher can do any kind of teaching approach that stimulates student learning. It has to be active learning, but you can really improvise, use whatever teaching approach that you are comfortable with. So if we say you have to use this, you have to teach by doing this and that, they will worry about the rules and regulation. That's we found in most, before our project go into the school, they have to really follow the rules and regulation on the teaching, but now they don't need to. The teacher should be allowed to find their own teaching style, and anything that is active learning, it will do. But the most important thing that when you do the teaching, things that have to be there is the content and the pedagogy that is suited to the class, suited to the student learning style and learning environments. That's all my talks for today, and I take about 6 minutes, but I started a little bit late, right? Thank you so much for listening.
Okay, thank you so much. It's very interesting talk, and I think inspire a lot of people here and at the live. Okay, it's only one question from the live. They would like to ask about in what ways do you envisage question-led learning being part of KKU project?
Question-led learning?
Yeah.
Actually, like I said, we don't really fix any style of learning in the classroom. So when they implement the teaching approach, it can be start from question-led learning. For example, in the science smart learning, I see in the package that researcher also in some unit of the study, he used kind of propose the problem or propose the situation, propose the question to the student before telling them what are these things. So I think that's a good strategy too, to create of something of inquiry skill, analytical skill, and problem solving skill. So it can be something, but you don't really need to that. I will use question-led learning for my teaching only, but you can use many flexible. It's flexible. It depends on the environment and the context of your class. Really.
Okay, it's very nice. Okay, thank you so much for its very inspiring talk today. And next, I would like to give you the certificate of appreciation. Okay.
Will I get that real?
Yes, I pass the real one to you. Okay, let us. Okay, thank you so much for
Thank you.
for invited talk.
Thank
Okay.
you. Okay.
Okay.
สวัสดีค่ะ Bye bye everybody.
Okay. And okay, I think then the first invited speaker is already finished. And then thank you so much for all of you who joined in this talk. And the next section is already starting. Then please join parallel session. Thank you.
Once again, thank you very much, Professor Kulthida, for your meaningful speech. For your information, to fully enjoy our virtual conference, there are two platforms used to facilitate all participants to navigate conference session: Zoom for all conference session and meeting, and AirMeet for social long area where participants can chat or discuss with other participants anytime during the conference. In addition, the AirMeet is used for poster session where participants can view interesting posters virtually. And if you have technical problems while attending an ICCE workshop, there are two channels that you can contact our technical team. First, if you go to our official website, you will see the help desk chat at the bottom right corner, or you can email our technical team. Any inquiry about technical issues are all welcome. Before ending our activity in this conference hall, may I remind you again to join our social activities. And for your information, for the morning activities, we still have many interesting topics in our sub-conference, but it is the parallel session from 11 to 12:30. At room 2, we will have a conference on educational gamification and game-based learning. Room 3, we will have a conference on advanced learning technology, learning analytics, and digital infrastructure. And room 4, we will have a conference on practice-driven research, teacher professional development, and policy of ICT in education. So please feel free to join the one that you are interested in. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the morning session in the conference hall. I would like to say thank you to all participants for joining us. Thank you and สวัสดีค่ะ Thank you.